This is the last game that was removed from Play Store. This game is completely removed from Play Store years ago, but you really think this game is just about running, fighting, and your revenge against the Samurai Warlord with the blackest of hearts? There's a deeper meaning to this story. It not only talks about the protagonist, Yurei, facing enemies, traps, and deadly bosses, and your goal is to reach the heart of a temple and kill the Samurai Warlord who betrayed you. It not only talks about that, but there's a deep meaning lore behind this game. Yurei, a ninja, a member, and a student of the Samurai King, a teacher's leader, and rules an army of ninjas, jumpers, or I don't know how to call those, and this one, the most powerful unit, unstoppable berserkers. Well, there's no story behind it, but my theory is that the Samurai Warlord is only getting your trust and destroy it. Same goes to Fere and Yurei, of course, the side characters. And only the demon, the first boss of the game, is a statue, animated statue, probably animated by the Samurai Warlord who has darkest powers. And it was used as a tank force, a golem, to do his job, to stop you. And however, only the demon is not just a statue, but probably just a statue as a structure. However, the Samurai Warlord gave him a life. Yeah, it gives that statue a life of a spirit, which is dark and cursed. And the ninjas, such as the enemies we're killing during the run, the leaping jumpers and the berserkers, were ruled by the commander, known as the Samurai Warlord with the blackest of hearts, a teacher's commander that betrays the protagonist of the game. Yes, the Samurai Warlord is a teacher too. Because of him, his armies are way and far disciplined, and that's why they are faster and stealth and skilled even more. But however, Yurei is driven by rage that he managed to solo the entire numbers of enemies. But however, the more you run, the faster it gets, the many they get. Your goal is to reach the heart of the temple, a cursed temple. And I don't know what is it for, but maybe the Samurai Warlord lives there. I mean, he has the blackest of hearts, so he probably possesses that dark temple, a cursed temple. I don't even know what that cursed temple does, but maybe he lives there. Probably he has a throne that rules over these armies, and probably waiting for Yurei for a confrontation. Probably a ending cutscene after defeating the final boss, Shigumo. But let's talk about Uso the Traitor, the second boss of the game. And Uso means falsehood or lies, deceptive. He's deception. And the reason why he's the only boss who can switch lanes just like you is because he is probably a dark reflection which can mimic your moves. Of course, Uso means falsehood and lie. And because of his traitorous act, he betrayed you too. He probably betrayed Fere and Yurei. He betrayed anybody because he was deceptive and really thirsty for power. And that's why he probably flies and possesses a thunderous blaster thing. And yeah, it's not only that. Since Uso is probably represents as a dark reflection of yourself, he can mimic your movements, such as switching lanes, unlike only the demon and Shigumo, who stays in their fixed position. Like, only the demon is a raw and brute force that yeah, animated and given life by the Dark Warlord. And of course, not just that, he's probably a general. Probably a general also betrayed by Uso the Traitor, commanded by the Dark Warlord to murder him and cast his spirit into that statue to animate it as a tank golem and as a weapon to stop you. That's why Uso is deceptive. And yeah, That's why he can copy your movements. And the only boss who copies your movements, switching lanes and playing tricks such as like when he's shooting that way, instead of shooting that way, he just switches lanes faster and shoots you. And yeah, he can also play tricks. What I'm saying is, instead of shooting that way, he just repositions in your direction, in your position where you're comfortable from his attacks. That's how tricky he is. Here goes the final boss, Shigumo. Shi means death, Gumo means spider, so which makes Shigumo death spider. Oh, so Shigumo's appearance, it's a representative of a corrupted nature, a monster of corruption. And his theme, that's his theme. And his symbol as a I don't know if it's a symbol, but let me just explain it straight. That his design fits the cursed temple, as he acts as a guardian and a gatekeeper, trying to stop you from getting in. And Shigumo is also protecting the Samurai Warlord. And yet, after defeating Shigumo in the final boss, there is no ending, unlike intro animation where Yurei rises from the ashes, from the underground with a smoke and with a dialogue. I must have my revenge. And yeah, when I played Yurei Ninja, I defeated Shigumo, and there's no ending at all, which is Yurei had a final confrontation with the Samurai Warlord, and yet we never get to see the actual Samurai Warlord. It's not Uso the traitor, the second boss with a thunderous energy. He's just a trusted general, according to my theory. He's a trusted general. Well, but why is he a second boss then, if he's supposed to be the main antagonist of the story? I mean, he's a different boss from the other two. He can switch lanes, mimic your moves like an imposter, or as I've said, a dark reflection of yours. And that Shigumo, a theme, a gatekeeper. He acts as a gatekeeper, protecting the Samurai Warlord, and only the demon, I don't know, a betrayed general whose spirit was casted into the Oni statue and became known as Oni the demon, right? And who knows, maybe the Samurai Warlord is the darkness itself, its presence. And yeah, it's because of his dark energy and dark forces. Like he probably left his physical body and became the darkness itself instead. And his presence, his voice commanding these ninjas, berserkers, and the assassin jumpers to eliminate you. So that explains why after getting killed by the boss and revived again, the darkness itself will show up, surrounding your entire area, right next to you, really close to you, blinding your path. Probably it's the Samurai Warlord itself, the darkness itself, trying to blind your path to your cursed temple. Now straight to the point of what this lore actually means is that this game talks about Yurei taking revenge against the Samurai Warlord. Oh yeah, our goal is to take revenge against the Samurai Warlord, but revenge just make things worse. Instead of just living in your own peace after you finally departed from them, you chose vengeance because you can't even let go of your grudge and resentment and hatred against those who hurted you. So it's better to let go of your hatred towards the person who hurted you. It won't make things worse. The most terrifying deep meaning of this game is that if you chose revenge, then you'll just destroy your life even more. It's because revenge always has consequences. It's no good result. And before you even start the game, you got what you wanted, and yet they call for backup and more forces in order to gang up against you. The most scariest part of this game is that as long as you keep holding grudge, resentment, and hatred against the one who betrayed and ruined you, there will be no end. Because you could have lived your life peacefully without any more consequences, and yet you chose revenge, and which just satisfies the enemy and you give them what they want. It's not just that, you're also a part of the darkness because you are like a monster seeking vengeance around town, murdering, slaughtering all your enemies. It's endless. You won't find peace as long as you keep holding on to resentment. And if Yurei ever let go of his resentment, there might be an ending, a secret hidden ending where he lets go of his sword and just lives in peace. That explains why after defeating Shigumo in the final level boss fight, there's no ending and the Dark Warlord remains unseen. Because of this continuation of quest of vengeance, You're trapped with your hatred, and the only exit and way out of it is to let it go.